As part of a course at UNCG known as Social Global Problems, we were asked to choose a particular social issue that we would like to follow over the course of the semester. As I pondered on what to follow up on, I decided to choose education. I felt that it was a social issue that affects all across the world globally, that in return can impact what another country does, and can also show a great deal of inequality. So you may be wondering, what is going on with education here and around the world? Well, as I reflected on the many articles that I read, there were 3 topics that were a common focus of them all. Those 3 topics were education problems, and you will hear more about that, and what other countries are doing to help or solve those issues that are going on in their education system. Another is global education. That was a huge topic throughout my articles, and I will go in more detail later. And last but not least, the Millennium Development Goals. Many are not aware that the United Nations have put together 8 goals that they hope to see are met by the year 2015, and education is the focus of one of those goals. An education problem that exists is the fact that good quality of education is not available around the world. According to the UNESCO, which stands for the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, there are 71 million secondary school-age children around the world who are not in school. That is a huge problem. And you may be asking yourself why. Well, for example, this issue is evident in Kenya. Once students finish primary school, they have nowhere else to go. And some of the reasons are due to financial burdens, learning, and geographical barriers. It was also found in Kenya and in other countries around the world that education was not being provided for children in poorer areas. This is very unfortunate. All children should have the right to access education. So to try and help correct that problem, the Pearson Company and Bridge International Academies have created what is known as Academy in a Box to those areas. Powers data, technology, and scale to keep the quality up while also keeping the prices down. There are also steps that are given to the school managers that assist them in setting up their schools in about 5 months and managing their schools in order to have successful outcomes. Bridge schools are about $5 a month. They enroll about 1,000 students, and it uses an automated payment system in which cell phones are used. In the last month, there are 51 new schools, and doubling the enrollment total in 30 days. It was stated that they were currently opening 1 new school every 3 calendar days. Altogether, there are 134 bridge schools, and over 50,000 students enrolled. Their goal 10 years from now is to have bridge schools in about 12 countries. They want to offer good quality education and at the same time have it affordable. The next biggest topic among the past weeks was global education. There is a hope and aspiring idea to have expanded global education opportunities. Some of the things that were talked about were making studying abroad more accessible, and MOOCs, also known as Massive Open Online Courses. Let us discuss Massive Open Online Courses. Professor Philip Zelikow at the University of Virginia is a history professor and has taught the course The Modern World Global History since 1760 for 16 years now. He is still teaching it this semester, but there's one aspect that is different. He usually teaches this course to about 120 students on campus. This semester, he is teaching it to 42,000 students around the world. You may think to yourself that online courses are not new, which they're not, but the ability to have access to professors from high, top, prestigious universities such as Harvard and Stanford, that is. Experts and educators believe that this is an insight to the potential of what education can revolutionize into in regards to higher education. Global education should be of core importance. Students are lacking cross-cultural competence. The educators and experts suggests that students can learn from and work with individuals who are from diverse cultures collaboratively. There also needs to be a way that students can understand other nations and cultures. Schools should set their standards in which they will teach students in a global perspective. Lastly, I would like to talk about the Millennium Development Goal. The second goal is to achieve universal primary education. Like I mentioned before, the United Nations has set this goal and would like to meet it by the year 2015. There has been growth, but we are still not where we should be or where they would like us to be. It was stated in numerous articles that countries can learn from one another on how to make their particular education system better. The more and more we try to strive to have educational reform, the closer we get to achieving the second Millennium Development Goal. In a song by Whitney Houston, there is a line that says, "I believe that children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way." I hold that line of the song to be so true. When we are being taught, we are being educated, and education equals our future. In all of the articles that I followed throughout the semester, there was always a point made that education leads to success, impacts and intertwines with other global issues such as poverty and unemployment. If we better the quality of education, that could eventually close the gap of inequality in this world. Thanks for watching, and here added are some links to pictures and to the Millennium Development Goal website. Check them out.